Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September, moving into early October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Cappies as we switch from September to October? Lovely time of year. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies. Let's get this first card out nice and quick. What's the energy around my good friends? What's the vibe here? Thank you. Okay, so we have the Magician. Now, this one does have similarities to the Magician that's in the tarot deck, but there's also some differences, that's for sure. Especially you see them there doing like magic tricks and illusions and stuff like that. Really great for creation, I could tell you that. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about the card. So we see this individual. He's doing all sorts of different magic tricks. We got the dove, we got the rings. He's doing all sorts of sleight of hand. Now, again, in divination, especially the tarot deck, and this is an oracle, it's not a tarot, the Magician is all about controlling your fate, controlling your future. It's very ritualistic. It's extremely spiritual. But the biggest thing I always link to the Magician is creation, manifestation. So for a lot of Capricorns, whether you realize it or whether you don't, there is something you are pulling towards you. This is a magnetic type of energy. Now, for a lot of you, that could be really, really good. Just know your powers to create and manifest things are heightened whenever this card shows up. But where the big difference is with this version as opposed to the tarot is illusion, right? Like this person's doing sleight of hand. They're like, hey, look at this hand, while they're doing something with the other. So for some of you, it may just be situations where it's like, all right, maybe I'm missing a few facts. Maybe there's certain things you're not seeing quite yet. Watch out for confusion and stuff like that. I'm not saying that somebody's being malicious or manipulative, but to me, whenever I see anything that shows illusion, it tells me that there may be more than what it seems with something you're going through. But really great for creation, I can tell you that. But we're just going to let him chill over there. He can keep doing his magic tricks. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. What do we got? In late September, early October. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It did center around communication. The reading was titled An Explosive Talk. So for a lot of you, whether this is a conversation that just erupted out of nowhere, maybe something was heating up, that could definitely be the case. There was a little bit of volatility around communication. So whether it was from your side or somebody else's, that's an energy that could bleed over for a couple weeks. So just watch out for stuff like that. Watch the temper. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cappies. What's happening late September, early October? Let's get these cards out for my good friends. Thank you. All right, 7 of Pentacles. Cool. Karmic energy. All right. I mean, I normally like an action card in the first position. So when we see this guy who seems to be waiting around on something, I'm like, okay, what could this possibly be, my good friends? Let's get 2 more. Could be analyzing something. It really depends on what else shows up. Seems like a whole lot of nothing. And again, it's not going to stay that way, but 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, it's like, all right, what is happening and what is not happening is my question. Let's get 1 more. I mean, I know Capricorns are usually very active, so maybe this is somebody else's energy. But yeah, there's just a whole lot of waiting around for one reason, especially with the 2 of Wands here. There's strategy in play. So this is going to be an intriguing one, my friends. I can't wait to see the clarifiers, because along the top, although they're different elements, they're kind of in the same mode. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know, I always like to break down the elements first. So initially, we're starting with one of your power elements, or your big power element, Earth. So work, business, money, security, anything finances, home, living situation, family. When we see Earth, we think of the material world around us, which again, that's a power place for a lot of Capricorns here. Notice he's not really doing much. Moving to the center, we have the water, which is the internal world. So feelings, emotions, matters of partnerships, romance, stuff like that. Emotions in general. It doesn't always just have to be, you and a person whenever we have water. But what is she doing or not doing? She's sitting under a tree. Doesn't look like she's really doing much, right? Now, moving to the back end, we have the Two of Wands. I would say if anyone's doing something, it would be him. But this is fire, the realm of action, movement, passion, drive, desire, and burn. So, yeah, things do pick up slowly as we move along. There's a lot of strategy going on, especially on the back end here. So let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we start with the Seven of Pentacles. So again, we see our friend there. He's sitting next to that pentacle bush, just waiting patiently. Right now, I don't say that this is a bad energy whatsoever. I actually do like this because, in the positive sense, it's somebody that's going to be rewarded. It is something that pays off. So whether it's a process, whether it's an investment, whether it's something you've been being very patient with, this card's like, all right, that will or could pay off for you in a very big way. Nice. It does connect to nature. So for some of you, maybe you need to refresh your energy in nature, take a little walk, take a little hike. But the challenge with the Seven of Pentacles is that it could be very boring or bored. So watch out for stale energy, feeling stuck. That's a big thing with this, because sometimes the Seven of Pentacles can be problematic. It can be a problem or just something that seems like nothing is happening. So we do want to look at it. And the biggest thing with this card, I call it a big karma card. It represents reaping what you sow. So what you put forth, you get back in return. Or there could be something about a karmic cycle we want to look at with this card. So again, not bad, but it's just kind of waiting around. Watch your patience in general, because there could be things, people, whether you're being very patient and understanding or whether you're losing that energy. Now, moving to the center, we have the Four of Cups. A little bit different, but also similar. And you see her, she's sitting under the tree. It looks like she's taking a little nap, having a little snooze, right? And the universe is handing her the Ace of Cups, but she's not really paying attention. So again, to me, this card is just very cerebral, even though it taps into the cups and the emotions. Maybe someone's in their feelings a little bit, but to me, it's like I'm daydreaming, I'm fantasizing, I'm thinking. So maybe you have someone particular on your mind. Maybe someone's thinking about you. That could be the case with this card. If that's not it, it's just very cerebral, like someone that could be overthinking. When we look at this in the rough sense, it could be someone that's dwelling or overthinking something. Positive energy with the Four of Cups. It's extremely creative, right? That's a big thing. But we just need to see, because even fours themselves are a very solid energy. So we say they're both not really doing much. So whether this is all your energy, all someone else's energy, maybe two people mirroring each other, it's like, all right, something's got to give here. Moving to the back end, I think it will. We have the Two of Wands. Now, this person also seems to be waiting, right? Now, twos in tarot could represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads. So maybe some of you are at a crossroads in life. It's all good. This one, to me, more so than all the other things, ties into strategy. This represents somebody. Notice he has the globe in his hand, so he's like plotting his course. So for some Capricorns, maybe with whatever it is you're dealing with, Spirit wants you to take a very structured, pragmatic approach, where it's like step by step by step. Don't wing it. That's a big thing here. And the clarifier for this is going to be very telling, right? Because hopefully it's not someone going against the plan. And again, it could be somebody else where there's like a lot of strategy going on. When we have the Two of Wands, planning, the Four of Cups, a lot of thinking, the Seven of Pentacles, it's like everyone is planning, but they're not acting for whatever reason. So I do want to see if we get some action coming through, because I've seen that for you in recent weeks. So I want to dive deeper on all of this, Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What is happening for my good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Seven of Pentacles. Let's see what that has for us. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get that Seven of Pentacles out. What is happening there? Yep. It's like a delay or someone waiting but not liking it. Lack of results. Watch out for anything that does feel stale, stagnant. This could be a bit of a problem. And again, I'm not saying it's like the worst case scenario, like the sky is falling. There's just like a sense of stagnation. And something I know about Capricorns, I know a lot of beautiful Capricorns. Normally, you're results driven, right? Or normally, a lot of Capricorns are results driven, where it's like, all right, if I'm going to put effort into something, I want to see the results. If I'm going to invest my time, if I'm going to invest my energy into something, I need to see the yield from that. So when I see the Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Cups, it's like, all right, well, what am I doing? Like, am I wasting my time here? Am I waiting for nothing? Uh, there could be certain things that seem like they're stalling out. Now, I don't want to say that's definitely the case throughout the rest of the reading, because I do think that we're going to see some action picking up here on the back end. But just watch out for the patience or just feeling like I'm getting nowhere. So, again, lack of results could be a little bit of a bump in the road or a problem, or just general stagnation. And watch out for boredom, too, especially with the Five of Cups, the River of Tears, because the energy just feels a little stale. Let's keep moving. We're going to keep going. Let's see what the Four of Cups has. And you know what? If you're bored, if things are mundane, too mundane for your liking, just do something that makes you happy. But let's go. Let's go on the Four of Cups. Like, I'm really looking forward to getting back here because I think that's really what's going to connect the whole reading. But let's go in on the Four of Cups. So why is it here for my friends? And then this energy just seems like, all right, well, I'm not helping. I'm not doing nothing. If you don't do nothing, I'm not doing nothing. And I don't mean that in a spiteful way, but the Seven of Wands in reverse underneath the Four of Cups is acting like it doesn't care. So this could be something that might upset you. Somebody downplaying something or minimizing. So watch out for that in the weeks ahead, where there might be something you think is important, or might be something you want to achieve, or something you want to see, and either this person acts like they don't care, or they might be minimizing it. It's like, all right, well, if nothing's happening, oh well, nothing's happening. Now, the Seven of Wands isn't always a bad card. In the upright, it could be about determination and pushing forward. And if there are problems, we're going to tackle it head on. It can also represent a bit of a trapped, stagnant feeling, like I'm saying. So it's like, all right, well, I'm not getting any reinforcements here, right? Can you back me up on this one? Can you help me out with this? So again, I'm not saying whether it's you or somebody else. It's like, all right, well, if you're not going to do nothing, I'm not going to do nothing. Or if you're not going to put in effort, I'm not going to put in effort. It's giving me one of those types of vibes. So just watch out for that. And again, it doesn't feel spiteful. It just feels like an energy that's treading water. It just feels stuck in place. And I'm so used to action in Capricorn readings because you guys usually have a lot of determination. Even when things get rough, you push it forward. Like, you never take a step back. You're always moving up that mountain. So this energy could be quite frustrating for some of you. Or again, let's just keep going to the Two of Wands. Because up front here, it seems like nothing's really going on, but is that the truth? That's the question. Let's go in on the Two of Wands. Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. So why is it here, please? Okay, cool. All right, could be communicate. Yeah, this is most definitely somebody that has a plan. All right, or is in the mode or manner of planning. So if there is something that hasn't come to you in the physical, in the 3D world, if there haven't been results or it seems like something is stuck, it's definitely not going to stay that way forever, because when we get to the back end, this is where we have a huge shift and change in energy, which I think is just what the doctor ordered compared to what we have going on up here in the front. We have the Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth, big card of communication, opportunities, offers. So when I see it in the upright underneath the Two of Wands, it's like, no, I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to handle this. So again, whether it's advice from Spirit saying like, all right, Capricorn, things might not be moving. Maybe it's time to make an alternate plan. Or maybe it's time to think outside the box here with whatever situation you're dealing with. Either that, or someone is definitely in the planning phase and they will see it through. Notice we have the fire-air combination, explosive action type of energy here on the back. So could it be a breakthrough? I don't want to say that quite yet. I saw that for you a few weeks ago, but it's definitely someone that has a plan up their sleeve. And they're going to put it into play. They're going to put it into action. So don't let appearances fool you. That's kind of how this feels. Like, with all this energy in the front that might not seem like it's doing much, don't let appearances fool you, because in reality there is a plan in place, or will be. unless that's something Spirit wants you to do. Make alternate plans. It's like, all right, well, I'm not seeing results. You're not helping. Okay, I guess I got to do something else. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So a lot of strategy, a lot of thinking, not a lot of physical action just yet. But if you kind of look in the box, position number one, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Cups in the upright. So again, it's a bit of a stuck, stale type of feeling. Could even be boredom for some of you, where it's just very mundane. But to me, it feels like lack of results. That's like the main overarching theme here, where it's like, all right, I'm not getting the results I want, or I'm not seeing the progress. Hey, what's going on here? Moving to the back end, I mean, the center, we have the Four of Cups with the Seven of Wands in reverse, where it's like, not getting a lot of help here. Like that energy doesn't seem to be doing much, where it's like, all right, well, if you're not going to do nothing, I'm not going to do nothing. So it's like two energies that are similar, if that makes sense. A lot of thinking, though, a lot of planning, especially as we move to the back end. We have the Two of Wands with the Ace of Swords in the upright. So most definitely for you, maybe it's time to make alternate plans, right? Maybe if you had plan A, B, maybe it's time for plan C. Either that, or there's someone where it's like, all right, things may seem like nothing's happening, but something is in the works. Something big is being planned, and it's going to happen. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I was like, pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the Cappies? What do we got for our good friends? All right, Six of Pentacles, that's good. So that is the energy that does open up. So I really like this as a shadow card. However, there is a shadow side to this card. Now, the Six of Pentacles, it is one of my cards of like gift giving. It's open, it's very charitable, it's equal. So like equal give and takes, similar thing to what we saw here, where it's about effort, where if someone's not matching your effort, where something is not matching your effort and you're not seeing the results, maybe it's time to reanalyze things when we have this Six of Pentacles. Now, in the good sense, this could be something that balances and does start opening up for you, kind of like what we saw here on the back end of the spread. However, this card could be a warning from Spirit about being kind, but not being too nice, being understanding, but not being a doormat, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that somebody's coming in and taking advantage of your kindness. For some of you, this could be the good energy where it's like, okay, things are going to get better, things will improve, things will open up. Be nice, be understanding, but don't be too nice. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. So we're just going to let them chill right there, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The September subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The September calendar is already live, so we could have ourselves a little chat. But for the September subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's great for beginners and experienced readers. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which ones do you get along best with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As usual, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.